Hello, everyone. Welcome again to Fresh Talks. My name is Manuella Sena. I run the immigration department at Fresh Portugal, and today with me, Zeev Fischer, founder of Fresh Portugal. As some of you may know, there was a recent decision of the Constitutional Court, and we will be analyzing and chatting about this, what this means to Portugal, and what are the next steps.
Yes, it seems, Manuela, that the drama around the immigration reform is refusing to subside.
Yes.
We thought there is at least a direction, and now the Constitutional Court has thrown a spanner in the works and knocked out some parts of the reform. So, not the important ones, because the important ones have not even yet been discussed, but
Yes.
but some things that have been said in that decisions are very, very relevant to our clients.
Yes.
And that is what we want to focus on, not as much what they've said, but what does that mean to our expat clients. Yeah, maybe starting from the most important substantive issue in that reform was family reunification.
Yes.
Reminder is the government tried to limit family reunification rights and create a period
2 years.
of 2 years for people to apply for family reunification. And what did the court say?
Unconstitutional, as we already expected, right? This was something that it was extreme, and the Constitutional Court considered as unconstitutional for every applicant. It doesn't matter if it's a golden visa, it doesn't matter the residency type you hold, it was considered unconstitutional.
So people have a right for family life, and yeah. Then another part of that the court referred to was the right for to apply for court relief or access to justice, and
Yes,
what's
they wanted to stop that. This was also considered unconstitutional.
Yeah. Maybe the other parts of the decision are not that on the merits are not that important, but some side statements, or perhaps one major side statement about differential treatment is a very important one. So what else did they say?
It was considered that special treatments are allowed for certain types of residence permit holders. Which ones? Golden visa holders, highly qualified professionals, blue card holders, because those applicants brings or they are investing in the country, or they bring academic background to the country. So those type of applicants are allowed to receive a special treatment.
So although there wasn't actually a differentiation between these people in the ruling itself, because the family reunification rules that the government tried to create a differentiation, it was knocked out for every applicant.
Yes.
Basically, the court said if someone is more qualified, invest in the country, if someone is bringing more value into Portugal,
Exactly.
It's allowed to give them a better treatment. And that is a major, it sounds obvious to some and outrageous to others, but it's definitely been speculated that this could be deemed discriminatory. But the court said no, differentiating between groups that are not the same in their contribution to Portugal in immigration policy is not discriminatory. Exactly. It's completely allowed, and that is perhaps the most important part. Yes. Of this immigration reform. So, yeah, I think that these are the important pointers on the reform itself. Now, following that decision, the president went on to veto the legislation. It goes back to Parliament. And there are now three options. Essentially, the government can abandon the reform, which they wouldn't do. They can amend and try to make it constitutional, which is what's going to happen. So it's already clear from statements that they're going to try and soften the reform to make it fit the constitutionality criteria. They do have a third option, which is to try and overcome the constitutional veto by achieving a 2/3 majority in Parliament, which it seems like they don't have. So the ruling coalition needs to get another party, the Initiativa Liberal, to vote with them, and they probably wouldn't get them under these circumstances. So they will try to amend and get that through the door. They've already announced that they would not fully abandon this legislation, but it would definitely be softened. And if you remember what we were saying 2 months or 3 months ago when we did a webinar about this, we said that, okay, they start with a big bang, big announcements, and what we expect at Fresh is that they are going to start now walking it back.
Reviewing everything.
And now the court has given the government actually a reason or an excuse to achieve everything they've wanted, because they can walk back the legislation on one hand, and on the other hand, it's not their fault. They've tried something more overreaching, and the courts blocked them. So yeah, maybe with sort of the backdrop of all of this, and kind of interestingly, the decision of the court was quite roughly divided around party lines. Judges that were appointed by the socialist government voted against, and judges that were appointed by this government voted were split. So it's quite an interesting outcome. But the next round of the reform relates to the five. This is what most of our clients are interested in. Relates to the 5 to 10 years.
The changes on the nationality law are expected to be discussed next month in September, right? So
now with the background that we know that the Constitutional Court is taking a proactive approach, and not an obvious one. The Vice President of the Constitutional Court heavily criticized that decision. But has been in a minority, so now they know that there's someone's watching. One thing that was discussed was retroactivity. We can expect the government now to be very careful with retroactivity, right?
Yes. We are, well, I think we can say that we are confident that people will be grandfathered because the expectations were created, especially for investors, so golden visa applicants.
Yeah. So the combination of strict constitutional review together with the fact that the court has now clearly said that you're allowed to differentiate between different types of applicants, so it's made it a lot easier for the government to grandfather certain groups, and we expect those to be golden visa applicants, but also people involved or investing in tech. Big part of our client base. The court specifically talked about these people as people that you can give better conditions to, and we will expect them to be grandfathered now. What that means in practice is that if you were considering a golden visa or considering coming to Portugal, and you're hoping to be grandfathered into a 5-year citizenship, definitely no guarantee, but much bigger chance
if you start.
If you start now, before the legislation has changed. So this is perhaps our main, maybe the main conclusion. If you want confidence that you will get, you have access to citizenship within 5 years, we don't have that confidence. We're quite confident that after the legislation passes, the period will change to 10 years. We don't see that being walked back. It's a pan-European trend, and we see that in other countries as well. So it probably will be changed to 10 years. So we're quite confident that you wouldn't have this option. Everyone who's in the interim, we were speculating that they might be grandfathered, and we're still speculating, but now we think there's a lot better chance because the court has opened the door to do that. So right. This is mainly it. So if you're considering applying, go ahead and apply.
Consider starting the application as soon as possible, especially golden visa applicants.
But also normal residencies. But
as you said, people involved with startups, tech, and scientific research.
Talk to us now. So it's a good time to do that.
Yeah. But it's also important, Zev, I think it's important for us to clarify to everyone that, well, even in the worst case scenario, if they change the nationality law from 5 to 10 years, at the end of 5 years, every applicant, doesn't matter if it's a golden visa, other type of residence permit holders, all of you would have the possibility to apply for permanent residency. Okay, this remains unchanged. So I think it's relevant for everyone.
Yeah.
The biggest, in practice, there is no big difference, right, between a permanent resident and a citizen. We
Unless you
joke.
leave Portugal to another EU country.
Exactly, yes.
That's the
and
main.
the lines at the airport.
And the lines
how
at the airports.
we usually joke about. It's also a great, it's also a possibility for every applicant to apply for permanent residency at the end of 5 years. It's a great choice as well.
Yeah, so as we said, when this whole thing was discussed, everyone was panicking. We said this is going to be softened and walked back to a degree, and this is precisely what's happening. This decision by the Constitutional Court is coming slightly earlier than we expected, but definitely a very positive welcome. And yeah, maybe the statement that you can differentiate between different groups and treat people who contribute to the country more in a better way. This is a major statement,
yes.
and we think that this will be relevant to so many things in the future, because we do have a government that want to encourage that population. Yes, they have concerns about numbers of migrants, but they definitely want to encourage talented people to come to Portugal. So now they have support for that from the court, which is very welcome news. So join us for our next video, and always a bit.
It was a short video, just a quick update to you all. We will soon do another one.
I haven't gotten used to ask people to subscribe and follow us, but if you want to know what's happening in Portugal, do that.
Yes, and yes, we will soon. We will always keep you updated about any relevant changes, and we see you again very soon. Thank you for watching us.
Thank you for watching.